Halo Sobat Indosport. Ya ditunggu lah masih ramenya. Hai Sobat Indosport, apa kabar di hari Rabu tanggal 6 Mei 2020? Sebentar lagi saya akan live bareng Rodrigo Gallego. Dia adalah jabatannya tuh rada-rada rumit, tapi intinya dia delegasi La Liga di Indonesia. Jadi La Liga itu sebenarnya di beberapa negara ada perwakilannya. Nah, Rodrigo Gallego itu perwakilan di Indonesia. Kira-kira suara saya terdengar nggak ya? Nah, nanti kita tuh akan ngobrol-ngobrol soal La Liganya sendiri. Dan ya bisalah dikaitkan dengan sepak bola Indonesia kalau kalian ingin bertanya. Jangan lupa pertanyaannya, nanti saya akan terjemahkan ke Rodrigo-nya supaya dia nanti ikutan berinteraksi lah kalian dengan menjawab pertanyaan kalian gitu. Oh ya, kemarin tuh selama ini kan live di Instagram nih selama masa corona ini kan kalian ditemani sama Anya, ada juga Alvia, sama Farhan. Sekarang ini pertama kalinya saya, Teresia Simanjuntak, menyapa kalian. Saya sendiri redaktur Indosport.com, biasanya lebih ke sepak bola internasional. Jadi kalau sepak bola internasional baju saya udah La Liga banget nih. Tinggal nunggu orangnya aja, masih ada 3 menit lagi. Ini saya cuma mau ngecek apakah suara saya sudah terdengar dan koneksinya juga nyaman. 3 menit lagi. Halo. Halo. Nah, tuh Rodrigo sudah join tuh, tinggal kita ngobrol-ngobrol. Sebentar. Kabar kompetisi lu. Oke, nanti saya catat nih yang terkini ya. Pertanyaan terkini, ada beberapa pertanyaan tadi. Ada lagi yang mau bertanya kira-kira sebelum nanti kita ngobrol langsung? Ini dari mana semua nih? Kira-kira? Masih ada 2 menit lagi ya. Hai, halo. Ya, sekali lagi kita akan sebentar lagi akan ngobrol. Apakah Barcelona akan juara seperti PSG? Kita sebentar lagi akan ngomong dengan berbicara dengan Rodrigo Gallego. Sekali lagi dia adalah delegasi La Liga di Indonesia. Kalau saya tidak salah itu sudah 3 tahun La Liga di Indonesia. Nah, makanya kita mau ini nih ngobrolin soal apa sih proyek program-programnya La Liga di sini. Hai Rodrigo.
Hello, how are you, Dersha?
Halo. Yeah, I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, yes, perfect. Hello, how are you?
Fine. How is all going during this situation?
Yeah, of course. I know you can speak Bahasa a little bit, so could you please say
Sedikit,
something
sedikit
to the
saja.
viewers? Could you
Apa
please
kabar
say
semuanya?
something to the viewers? Yeah, and yeah, I just told them that you are the delegate of La Liga in Indonesia, and it's been 3 years actually, right? Is that
Ya,
right?
3 tahun. Sudah
Tiga
3 tahun.
tahun. So just tell us a little bit about your background. Why you chose you agreed to be assigned in Indonesia?
Well, I have been working for the football industry, within the football industry during the last
Mm-hmm.
5 years, 6 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I entered to La Liga, I entered in this international project. So I decided to came to Asia and specifically Indonesia because of the potential of the region, like all
Mm-hmm.
Asia, Southeast Asia, and particularly in Indonesia, because I think within the countries in the region, in terms of football and sport development, in terms as well of the football industry and the football business, I think it's probably the biggest country and it has the biggest potential.
Oke, tadi saya bertanya ke Rodrigo kenapa dia mau ditugaskan oleh La Liga di Indonesia, itu karena dia merasa La Liga itu secara bisnis, karena dia sudah berminat di bisnis olahraga di sepak bola ini udah cukup lama, dan dia melihat dari segi bisnis itu Indonesia memang salah satu market yang terbesar dan menarik seperti itu, kurang lebih seperti itu. Nah, okay, so actually I just want to share my experience when I joined the La Liga trip in Barcelona. So I was surrounded by the Barcelona fans because of they were amazed with the scarf I wore at that time, which was written Indonesia. So they asked me about where are you from? Yeah, I said I'm from Indonesia. Do you know Indonesia? No, I don't. I don't know Indonesia. So it's a bit sad actually, but it's interesting why how come La Liga knew about the enthusiasm of football fans in Indonesia, so they they sent you here. I mean,
yeah, I mean, like, I think you don't really know what's what's going on in Indonesia. You don't really know the passion about football until you really come here and live in Indonesia, in Jakarta, until you go to the stadium and you experience some, matches. Of course, I think all the companies and all the business companies, not even football, but any kind of industry, they got the numbers, they got the population, the social media, the digital environments are really, really high, probably one of the highest all over the world. But once you live and once you experience a football match or a football weekend within the Timnas or any local club, you really, you are really aware about, wow, this is something completely different. Like, I have been watching football in several countries. I'm from Spain. In Spain, we love football, we live football, we love football. But I think Indonesia is something really different in a positive way, it's above the rest of the countries and matches and passion that I have felt within my life.
Oke, tadi saya tanya nih, soalnya saya pernah liputan diundang sama La Liga untuk nonton El Clasico di Barcelona, dan ada fans-fans Barcelona itu bingung ngeliat kok ada tulisan Indonesia, emang kamu dari mana? Dari Indonesia gitu, dan ternyata mereka tidak tahu Indonesia itu apa. Lalu saya tanya kenapa, kalau saya tanya ke Rodrigo tadi, orang sana tidak begitu tahu soal Indonesia, tapi mengapa La Liga mau nih tertarik sama Indonesia? Ternyata kata Rodrigo ya, memang kita, maksudnya orang-orang Spanyolnya itu tidak menahu tentang kondisi di Indonesia seumumnya gitu. Tapi ketika dia datang dan dia merasakan sendiri tinggal di Indonesia, dia bisa melihat bahwa Indonesia itu luar biasa fans sepak bolanya. Bahkan dia datang dari negara Spanyol yang cinta banget sama sepak bola, tapi dia merasa atmosfer di Indonesia tuh luar biasa, dan dia gak heran kenapa La Liga ngirim dia ke sini seperti itu. So it's been 3 years since you've become the delegate of La Liga in Indonesia. So how do you feel outside football? I mean, like, what things that impress you the most?
No, I think it's been a great experience so far, both in a professional way and in a personal way. Just to talk a little bit about football, as I mentioned you before, I was really amazed about the passion that Indonesian people has about football. But in another ways, outside football, I think I have found Indonesia probably, in terms of tourism and travel around and everything, I think it's one of the best experience I have had in my life. I always say, I am a Spanish football or La Liga ambassador in Indonesia somehow. But in another way, I always say that I am an Indonesian tourist ambassador in Spain. Because all my friends, my family, people I get to know, they all ask me about Indonesia. I always recommend them to come here. I even organize their trips, in a friendly way. And I really love it. I think Indonesia has many things to explore in tourism ways. from mountain, volcanoes, trekking, beach, paradise, and I think it's one of the greatest surprises that I have found during the last 3 years.
So which cities you impressed the most?
I think I have been in Cape Quechil and Cape Besar, all the Maluku Island. I think it was
Oh, wow.
really great. My favorite trip, it's more like a mountain or trekking trip. It's like when I have been doing the Kawaijen and Bromo with Madakaripura. I think that's one of my favorite trips. Like the trekking and the volcanoes, the waterfalls. I think it's so far I have done it 3 times, so I think it's really interesting.
Oke, jadi hal menarik bagi Rodrigo selama 3 tahun dia di Indonesia itu lebih di sisi turisnya, bagi apa dia sebagai turis gitu, turismenya di Indonesia, dia sudah mengunjungi banyak kota dan dia mencintai gunung-gunung gitu, dia suka trekking dan yang paling dia suka kemarin katanya di waktu trekking ke Maluku. Wah, saya aja belum pernah nih ke Maluku, dia sudah pernah. Okay, so
And also, I think it's also important to mention, like one of the things that I, like was quite surprised a lot is also the people, like when you go around, when you are in Jakarta, even when you go outside, I think it's even better. But like the people are always keen to help you, to support. Like I think that's it's complicated to find, that in other countries, and I think it's also something that really was a cool surprise for me.
Oke, so jadi Rodrigo juga sangat kagum dengan orang-orang Indonesia yang katanya senang membantu gitu, senang membantu yang hal-hal yang dia tidak dia jumpai di negara lain. Jadi orang-orang Indonesia tuh baik gitu, guys. Okay, so are you following Indonesia football or at least Timnas Indonesia? So in your opinion, what aspect do we need to improve our football?
Yes, I follow it, of course. I really like it. I follow Liga Indonesia Baru. I follow Timnas since, my friend Luis Milla was coach of the national team.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah, I've been following the last years, with Persia Jakarta, the champions, with Bali champions as well last year. I think within the league, talking about the league perspective, I think it's a really interesting competition because it's, like really competitive. Each weekend, everything can happen, so I think it's really interesting. And I also, of course, follow the national team. I was following national team 2 years ago, 2 summers ago in the Asian Games. So in terms to improve, I mean, like I have been actually watching some improve within the last years in terms of more technical aspects, in a technical way. I think I have been following more systematic order in the pitch, the football concept that we have here in Europe. I think it's been somehow, slowly going adapted to the Indonesian football as well. And I always say that the sports, the athletes in Indonesia, just not in football, but I think in every sports, but of course in football, they have a natural talent. So I think it's a matter of time, when you invest properly in infrastructures, when you invest properly in the right coaching staff and everything, I think when the football environment can grow up, it will be really interesting to see how the natural talent of Indonesia can be developed.
Oke, tadi saya tanya soal apakah dia mengikuti sepak bola Indonesia dan misalnya timnas Indonesia, dan dia bilang memang selama di Indonesia dia ikutin liganya, timnas Indonesianya. Jadi dia juga bahkan dia mengikuti itu karena katanya tuh Luis Milla itu teman dia waktu Luis Milla masih jadi coachnya timnas Indonesia, dan dia juga ikutin kiprah timnas Indonesia saat di Asian Games kemarin. Menurut Rodrigo itu aspek yang perlu ditingkatkan sama sepak bola kita itu terutama dalam hal-hal teknis, termasuk pengadaan namanya sarana prasarana yang menurut dia itu masih harus ada improvementnya. Selain itu juga sebenarnya kita itu talenta muda kita itu bagus, cuman yaitu harus ada pengembangan pemain mudanya seperti itu. So there's a question from the viewer from Katarina Arum. Which Indonesia player has caught your attention?
Ah, I think, like I really like Valdo High, Osvaldo High.
Osvaldo Haya.
Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite players. I think he's really complete. He's young. He's really talented. So, like I was quite surprised with him. And of course, like when I always go to watch, for example, I mean, at the end, I live in Jakarta, right? So, in terms of clubs, I try to follow it all. I try to go to watch Persib Bandung. I try to watch
Okay.
PS Sleman, but I of course follow more Persija Jakarta. And I think, like I felt in love with Rico since the first time I watched him play, like because like he's so small, but he's so good, he's so fast, and in my opinion, all the decisions that he takes are correct, like and I always say that when you are a good football player always take right decisions. So I think that's why also I like Rico as a player.
Oke. Nah, tadi itu siapa pemain Indonesia yang menarik perhatian sama Rodrigo itu katanya Osvaldo Hai. Dia bilang walaupun kecil itu si Osvaldo itu pemain yang cepat, yang lincah, yang juga pintar membaca permainan. Jadi seperti is he's like Osvaldo Hai like the Indonesian Messi? Do you mean?
No, I mean, like, of course, like all the people, I think 2 years ago, they were talking about Egi Maulana, that
Oh
uh,
ya.
I think he's also really good and really talented. But I say, like I see Valdo like more, strong and faster. Maybe Egi is more technique, but I think Valdo is more complete as a player.
Oke. Oke, ternyata menurut dia tuh Osvaldo itu lebih komplit sebagai pemain itu ketimbang katanya dulu tuh ada Egy Maulana Fikri juga yang dibilang sebagai the next Indonesianya Messi seperti itu, tapi menurut dia Osvaldo Hai yang lebih lengkap. Okay, back to La Liga and implementation in Indonesia. So far, what you have done here in Indonesia?
So, like, of course, our priority has been always to increase our fan base in Indonesia, to increase our, like the people that follows Spanish football, that follows Spanish competition, or even one of our clubs beyond, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Of course, we know everyone knows Real Madrid and Barcelona, but our main idea is get to know the rest of the clubs, right? Like, so I would really be really happy if, like some people are creating communities about Valencia or Sevilla, Atlético de Madrid, Athletic Bilbao. So in that way, trying to keep that objective in mind, we have been doing some grassroots projects, sports and academy. So we have been developing some football academies in Jakarta. We are thinking to expand in several other cities. We have been doing some coaching clinics, some technical formation and summer camps. Also, we have been doing some great social works perspective here in Indonesia. We have been collaborating with Unipapua, with BOLA, KDM, several NGOs, local NGOs. We have been adapting and creating with them social football tournaments with, poor kids and all this kind of. I think it's really interesting. And in more in a, like a institutional way, we have been creating some collaboration. We have been working together with PSSI, with Liga Indonesia Baru. I think it's been a great job so far. We have been doing some workshop for the workers of the organization. We have been doing some workshop for the people and working in the several clubs. And I think it's really interesting.
Oke, jadi selama 3 tahun La Liga di Indonesia ini, tadi saya bertanya apa saja yang sudah dilakukan La Liga di Indonesia. Jadi dalam 3 tahun ini sudah banyak program-program tujuannya pasti memperbesar fanbase La Liga, pecinta La Liga di Indonesia. Yang selama ini yang Rodrigo akui adalah orang-orang Indonesia cenderung lebih ke Barcelona dan Real Madrid seperti itu. Sementara misi dia adalah memperkenalkan bahwa klub-klub La Liga yang lain itu juga spesial dan juga pantas untuk punya fanbase juga di sini. Kalau untuk program-program dari La Liga yang sudah diimplementasikan di Indonesia itu seperti kerjasama dengan PSSI, lalu juga PT Liga Indonesia Baru juga, terus ada juga NGO, ada juga Uni Papua juga. La Liga juga punya sekolah akademi di Indonesia untuk anak-anak usia ya belasan tahun seperti itu. Terus ada rencana juga buat summer camp dan sebagainya sih. Mungkin kalian ini bisa kalian explore nih, kalau mau bertanya apa aja sih gitu. Tadi si Rodrigo bilang waktu sama PSSI dan Liga Indonesia Baru itu seperti mengadakan workshop kepelatihan, workshop juga dengan PSS Sleman seperti itu. Kira-kira
And
okay,
also,
so
I think it's important to mention, like in a way to approach our fans and in a way to keep growing our fan base, we have been, like bringing with really great success our La Liga ambassadors. We have been deployed in Indonesia so far. Guys Camendieta, McManaman, Morientes, Ivan Campo. So when we have been creating and doing this nonton bareng to Indonesia around the Clásico match or any other private viewing, I think it's been a great success so far, because Indonesian fans, they love players, they love football players, or they love these former football players. So I think it's been interesting and really, really success projects.
Oke, Rodrigo juga bilang dia sudah mengundang beberapa duta La Liga datang ke Indonesia seperti Fernando Morientes, Giscal Mendieta, ada juga Ivan Campos untuk acara nonton bareng seperti itu. Jumpa fans juga ya seperti itu kurang lebih sejauh ini, dan acara-acara seperti itu ternyata memang cukup membawa banyak fans untuk mengenal lagi lebih dalam soal La Liga seperti itu. So you have brought, this is a question from I forgot from somebody. You have brought like the legends here in Indonesia. How about the clubs?
So yeah, I think like everyone asked me about that question. I think it's from my point of view, of course. Like I really wish all the clubs can have a pre-season tournament here in Indonesia. The first year I arrived to the country back in 2017, Espanyol from Barcelona, they have been doing the pre-season in Jakarta and in Bandung. Also, several years ago, as you might remember, Valencia and Sevilla, they have also been doing the pre-season and playing some matches in Indonesia. And of course, that's a challenge for us and our objective for the next years. Like this summer might be complicated, as you might know, because of all this, calendar exchange and situation with the coronavirus and everything. But, like I deeply think that sooner than later, some Spanish club will be able to go to Indonesia and to enjoy an amazing pre-season time over there. But at the end of the day, from La Liga, we just can't support the club, but that's a private decision from the club side.
Oke, jadi waktu saya tanya tadi soal klub-klub La Liga bisa nggak nih datang ke Indonesia seperti itu, kata Rodrigo ya dia pasti sebagai La Liga sebagai lembaga akan support itu klub-klub yang mau, dan jauh ini waktu dia datang tahun 2017 itu ada Espanyol yang pre-season di Jakarta sama Bandung, terus juga beberapa tahun sebelumnya ada Valencia dan Sevilla juga yang sudah pre-season di sini. Dia pengen seperti itu pastinya, cuman kalau summer tahun ini kan karena corona juga nggak bisa kan, dia sih akan coba lagi begitu untuk mendukung klub-klub Spanyol untuk coba main di pre-season di Indonesia seperti itu. Oke, this is interesting question actually. Have you tried instant noodles or nasi padang?
Yeah, of course. Like I love Indonesian food, and of course I have been trying. I think not all the food, but I have been trying several food from several parts of Indonesia. I can say that probably my favorite one is mie goreng. Like
Mie goreng, okay.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite one, and of course I have tried all the instant noodles from every brand. Like this kind of pop me and everything. This when you don't have anything on the fridge, I think it's an easy and tasty way to have some fast dinner or lunch.
Okay. So there is a question also from, I forgot the name. He's curious about the latest condition of La Liga because of the League One, French League is about to start again, and how about La Liga?
Yeah, of course, like I think this situation has been a global pandemic, and I think it's first of all the most important thing is that everyone can be safe, and and from La Liga side, from all the like institutions here in Spain as a sports institution, we have to first comply with the government measures, but we are working to come back soon. We have a plan with several scenarios, and we will probably try to come back at the middle second weekend of June. It's our objective. This week the several clubs and football players are going back to train with the strict healthy measures. But I think it's a matter of time that we will be able to come back on track and probably finish the competition, and so all the players can enjoy finish the competition, and for sure all of our fans globally and of course in Indonesia, they will be able to watch the 11 journeys that we have left.
Oke. Tadi saya lupa ya translate makanan apa sih, apa Rodrigo sudah pernah coba Indomie apa? Indomie jadi saya nyebut merek nih. Mie instan atau nasi Padang. Kata Rodrigo dia sudah coba beberapa makanan Indonesia, dan dia sangat suka mie goreng seperti itu. Jadi kalau ada yang mau masakin mie goreng tuh boleh tuh kayaknya tuh. Dan pertanyaan tadi ada yang bertanya soal kondisinya La Liga setelah Liga Prancis. Saya salah nyebut tadi ya, Liga Prancisnya bukan berlanjut tapi sudah ditentukan juaranya, berhenti sudah ditentukan juaranya. Dan Rodrigo bilang rencana La Liga ada beberapa skenario, yang jelas skenario utamanya Liga musim ini tetap berlanjut, tapi masih menunggu apakah pemerintah sudah mengizinkan untuk beraktivitas, karena bagaimanapun kesehatan mau fans atau para pemain seperti itu harus diutamakan. Jika kondisi belum memungkinkan, terpaksa masih belum, tapi rencana awalnya adalah tanggal 2 Juni. Nah, kita tunggu nih 2 Juni, semoga coronavirusnya juga sudah out dari Indonesia, dari dunia ini begitu. Ayo, masih ditunggu lagi pertanyaannya. Saya coba tanya lagi deh. So after 3 years La Liga Indonesia, what La Liga has gained so far? I mean, maybe the fan base or...
Yeah, I think it's been so great. We have been, increasing a lot our digital fan base. I think it's quite important, We have a huge presence now in Facebook and Instagram. We have created a proper line and Twitter for Indonesia account, Talking in Bahasa Indonesia. We have presence in Babe, which is a local platform. I think we have been able to have a great relationship with the sports media environment, within the sports journalists in Indonesia so far. So I think they have been able to get to know more about us. They have been able, the sports journalists have been able to get to know more about La Liga. So I think that's a really, really important thing. Also, we have established great relations, as I told you before, with the local sports institution, as Liga Indonesia Baru and PSSI, which I think is really important for us to be nearby, to be close, and to work together with the local institutions, right? So I think that's been so far. And of course, at the end, you can sum up all of this, that from La Liga side, from my side, we have been able to get to know more about the Indonesian fans. What do they want? What they are looking for? What do they miss? So we can, adapt somehow our content and, give a specific content for the Indonesian fans.
Oke, jadi tadi saya bertanya juga setelah 3 tahun di Indonesia itu La Liga dapat apa nih dari implementasinya sejauh ini. Dia bilang pasti ada peningkatan secara fanbase di digital. La Liga sendiri punya Twitter akun khusus berbahasa Indonesia. Kalian sudah follow atau belum tuh Twitternya? Lalu ada juga Babe juga ada. Lalu ada juga melibatkan para jurnalis nih, seperti trip ke La Liganya langsung begitu. Seperti saya sendiri juga udah ngerasain, karena saya pernah diundang La Liga juga buat liputan di Barcelona. Jadi kita lebih tahu lagi tentang La Liga, klub-klub La Liga sepak bola di Spanyol seperti apa. Lalu juga kembali lagi tadi Rodrigo menyinggung soal kerjasama dengan PT Liga Indonesia Baru. Yaitu maksudnya menurut Rodrigo penting untuk bekerja sama bareng-bareng karena mereka sama-sama operator liga. Jadi apa yang La Liga yang bisa bantu untuk perkembangan sepak bola Liga Indonesia itu yang salah satu yang bisa didapatkan. Dan yang tadi Rodrigo meminta saya untuk menyimpulkan bahwa yang La Liga bisa dapatkan itu adalah pengetahuannya lebih mendalam lagi soal fans sepak bola di Indonesia, bisa lebih tahu secara spesifik sehingga mereka bisa memberikan konten-konten ataupun info-informasi yang lebih spesifik ke para jurnalis yang bisa disampaikan begitu ke para fans sepak bola di Indonesia. Seperti itu. Ya, ada yang bertanya. Okay, so somebody asked, Gio Alberto asked about this. Is there the scenario of La Liga to restart again? Like, is it a scenario to start La Liga without the fans watching at the stadium? I mean,
Yes, I mean, like at the end, like as I told you before, the clubs are returning this week to train, and I think it's really important to follow the protocol that we have from the government. And I think at the beginning we will start without the fans. I think it will be safe for all of us because you never know what is going to happen with the coronavirus situation, right? So I think it's important to go back to normal, which means for the players to keep working, keep training and keep playing, and for us to keep returning to the competition. But in a different way. I think at the beginning it's being complicated for all of us, not just for Spanish football, but I mean in general, to be able to gather a lot of people in the same place, indoor or outdoor, like 20, 30, 50,000 people in the same stadium. I think it will be complicated for all of us. But we need to come back to normal. We need to entertain people. People need football. People need to watch their favorite football players and their favorite clubs going back to normal and playing again. So I think that's our priority right now.
Oke. Tadi Mas Dio pertanyaannya barusan dijawab nih soal apakah ada kemungkinan La Liga berlanjut tanpa penonton. Rodrigo bilang ya itu salah satu skenarionya karena kembali lagi kesehatan utama dan La Liga akan menunggu protokol dari pemerintah sebaiknya bagaimana karena sejauh ini kan seperti yang kita sudah tahu di dunia tidak boleh ada sekumpulan orang itu tidak boleh ada lah bersama-sama seperti itu untuk demi mencegah penyebaran coronavirus. Jadi kemungkinan liga berlanjut tanpa penonton ada karena bagaimanapun La Liga ingin kompetisi dilanjutkan dan di sisi lain para pemain dan fans juga dalam kondisi sehat-sehat aja. Tapi memang saat ini prioritas utama tetap lanjutkan La Liga dengan penonton pastinya kalau memang bisa memungkinkan. Seperti itu. Another question is, why do you think Spain is very good in so many sports like football, MotoGP, even badminton?
I mean, like, I think it's really important, like, as I mentioned you before, Indonesia has a great natural talent from a football sports point of view. But I think today in sports, I think every sport is so professional, specifically football, of course, that it's not just about the talent. I mean, you can have a really great talent. I have been watching and following really talented players, but they don't reach, good football teams or they don't reach professional teams. Why? Because I think today it's so important to develop the talent. So when you have the talent here, and I think Indonesia got it, you really need to create a proper environment to be able to develop that talent. So in that way, I think Indonesian football for the next years will be able to grow as soon as the institutions can be able to develop the environment, proper environment to develop the local and natural talent that you have got there, which I mean stadiums, football pitch, infrastructure, coaches. I think that's the ingredient that you really need right now in order to improve the amazing skills that I have been watching in the local Indonesian football players.
Oke. Tadi pertanyaannya kenapa sih Spanyol itu bagus banget apa namanya di olahraga baik di sepak bola, di MotoGP, bahkan di bulu tangkis seperti itu. Rodrigo kembali menekankan bahwa talenta itu sebenarnya nggak cukup. Indonesia punya banyak talenta, tapi itu tidak cukup untuk perkembangannya. Dia pribadi sendiri sudah mengikuti beberapa orang yang bertalenta, atlet yang bertalenta, tapi ya karirnya mandek begitu aja karena dia tidak mendapat pengembangan talenta yang cukup, yang proper, yang benar-benar lah seperti itu. Nah, menurutnya kalau dari sisi Indonesianya hal-hal ini talenta itu harus disupport dengan berbagai hal seperti institusinya tuh juga harus ada perkembangan yang baik seperti itu, juga dari segi infrastrukturnya termasuk stadionnya dan sebagainya, sehingga atlet-atlet itu bukan cuma sekedar talenta doang, tapi memang benar-benar dapat support buat berkembang seperti itu. So, okay, there is Spanish words I cannot understand. And okay, okay. So, uh, after the pandemic, actually, what programs does La Liga want to apply in Indonesia?
Yes, so far I think our objective now is first of all go back to normal, finish the
Mm-hmm.
competition, and we are planning, to have a the great rest of the competition so far. So our priorities now for Indonesia for the next for this and the next season are to keep doing the same work that we have been doing before, working with the local institutions and creating these social projects. But I really, in a personal way, want to get more involved with from a Liga perspective in order to develop the grassroots and the talent in Indonesia. I have been trying to develop within the last years, and it's been a little bit challenging, but I think at the end, somehow we will be able to get there. And it's, like really interesting to find this grassroots development project in which a talent star team can be able to go and travel to Spain after several
Mm-hmm.
weeks of training in Indonesia. I really follow Garuda Select project within the
Yeah.
PSSI at Timnas. I think
Mm-hmm.
that kind of projects are really interesting for the Indonesian football. In terms of
Yeah.
this group of people and talented players are able to get to know more about other methodologies in Spain, in UK, in
Mm-hmm.
Italy. They train together. They train with really nice and experienced coaches, and I think it's really interesting. And I think all other matter that can be really interesting is to create this kind of workshop for local
Mm-hmm.
coaches and for local referees, because
Okay.
I think Indonesia has been always so focused on trying to bring foreigner or international coaches. I think it's a good way, but I think it's also important, specifically for the grassroots, to keep improving the local coaches and to keep improving the local referees. So I think Indonesian football does not need to bring foreigner coaches or foreigner referees. They just need to
Mm-hmm.
create a proper talent development program for the local
Mm-hmm.
coaches and for the local referees. And I think it's other thing that we can offer, and we can work together with the PSSI and Liga Indonesia Baru
Mm-hmm.
for the next season.
Oke, jadi saya tanya tadi soal apalagi programnya La Liga setelah pandemik ini, setelah coronavirus selesai, ya selain pastinya menyelesaikan kompetisi. Untuk di Indonesia sendiri, Rodrigo berencana untuk melanjutkan apa yang sudah dilakukan di Indonesia selama ini, termasuk pengembangan pemain-pemain muda. Seperti tadi saya sudah sempat sebut ada La Liga Academy di sini. Nah, itu yang akan lebih diseriuskan seperti ada kelompok-kelompok usia muda berlatih di Indonesia dulu beberapa minggu. Lalu La Liga akan mengundang mereka ke Spanyol untuk belajar lebih lagi tentang metode-metode permainan ala Spanyol itu seperti apa. Ini karena Rodrigo itu mengikuti Garuda Select dan dia sangat setuju dengan cara Garuda Select ini dibina. Nah, itu yang akan La Liga upayakan ke depannya untuk para pemain muda di Indonesia kelak untuk dibawa ke Spanyol seperti itu. Selain itu, juga ada workshop buat para pelatih lokal kita maksudnya, karena menurut Rodrigo sangat disayangkan melihat banyaknya pelatih-pelatih asing yang bekerja di Indonesia bisa seperti itu, Padahal pelatih-pelatih lokal di Indonesia sebenarnya mutunya ya nggak jelek-jelek banget. Mereka cuma butuh untuk dibina perkembangannya. Harus ada semacam proper development program seperti itu, program untuk mengembangkan pelatih-pelatih lokal kita. Makanya La Liga sampai sekarang juga masih bekerja sama dengan PSSI dan PT Liga Indonesia Baru untuk memungkinkan ada pelatihan nanti untuk para pelatih juga seperti itu. Another question from Instagram. There is La Liga as league operator and there is Spanish Football Federation. As far as you know, is there any people from federation in charge or also work in La Liga, like your position?
No, I think we handle different matters. From La Liga, we are in charge of the sport football competition, which is the Spanish Football League. From the federations, they are more focused on the grassroots development, and they are also focused on the national team. So there is no, like a dual position or a person who is in charge of both organizations. We work together. Our mission is to keep improving and to get to know more about the Spanish football in a national and international perspective. And we have to share, this passion through football. But our daily work is different. It's different. So there is no people with a dual work and position in both Federation and La Liga.
Oke, tadi ada pertanyaan dari @absr_ulil. Dia bertanya soal ada La Liga nih sebagai operator liga, ada juga federasi sepak bolanya Spanyol seperti itu. Jadi apakah ada orang dari federasi sepak bolanya Spanyol ini turut ikut campur atau turut bekerja di La Liga seperti itu? Nah, kata Rodrigo itu tidak ada. Jadi PSSI-nya Spanyol itu ya urusannya terbatas di timnas sama talenta muda. Sementara untuk liga tetap itu otoritas penuhnya ada di La Liga ya sendiri. Jadi tidak bisa tuh ada orang yang kerja di federasi sepak bolanya ikut campur atau ikutan juga bekerja juga nih punya posisi yang penting juga di La Liga, itu tidak bisa sama sekali seperti itu. Ini yang bertanya pasti nih ada menyinggung itu nih seperti ini. Oke, ada lagi kah pertanyaan tadi? Somebody asked you to try burjo. Burjo is bubur kacang hijau. Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
You have to try it. Or bubur ayam, chicken porridge. How about that?
Okay, I will.
For breakfast. So let me see. Oh, so from Johannes_Ishak, La Liga once, the people say the La Liga is a bit boring because of only Barcelona or Real Madrid won the league. So what do you think about that statement?
I think during the last 5 or 10 years, it's true that mostly, but not all, has been a great dominance of Real Madrid and Barcelona. But I think this year, it's been quite different. And I deeply think that for the next 5 following seasons that we have ahead, I think we will be able to watch a different winner. We will be able to watch a really competitive competition. Even this year, it's so competitive, the people who can be relegated, the people, fighting for UEFA positions, the people fighting for Champions League position. Even as per today, if you finish the competition, Atletico de Madrid is not in Champions League. We have Valencia, we have Sevilla, we have an amazing Real Sociedad performance. We have an incredibly Getafe playing well. So I think this season has been so far one of the most competitive that I remember from the last 10 years. And I think for the following years that we have ahead, it's going to be more and more competitive each year. We will be able to see better counterparts, better teams, and different winners of the La Liga.
Oke, tadi pertanyaan dari Johannes_Ishak itu dia tanggapan Rodrigo soal pernyataan kalau La Liga itu membosankan karena yang menang, yang juara ya Real Madrid atau Barcelona. Menurut Rodrigo sekitar 5 tahun yang lalu mungkin ada seperti itu gitu, 5 tahun terakhir ya. ada seperti itu, kecenderungan seperti itu, tapi dia melihat musim ini tuh berbeda, terutama kalau bisa dilihat dari Atletico Madridnya sendiri bukan di zona Liga Champions, malah yang ada tim-tim seperti Valencia, seperti Sevilla, dan yang paling mengejutkan itu Real Sociedad berada kompetitif gitu, bisa ngalahin tim besar seperti itu, dan dia merasa kompetitif ini La Liga yang kompetitif ini akan berlanjut ke depannya karena environment-nya sendiri, lingkungannya sendiri sudah lebih kompetitif sekarang seperti itu. Jadi kayak seperti apa yang kamu tabur itu yang kamu tuai lah, kurang lebih seperti itu. So another question from this is so difficult to spell. Naragi. Okay. So why La Liga wanted to collaborate with PSSI to develop the young players? Why?
So first of all, I think our idea from an international perspective is not to be the first league in the country. I always say that our objective is to be the second most followed league in the country, which means that we really support the local football and we want the local league to be the first one, and after that we will probably, or we are trying to achieve to be the second and the first international league to be followed. So in that basis, I think it's really important for an international company, not just in the sport or football industry, but I think in any kind of industry, when you try to reach and when you are trying to land in a different country, it's really important that you can have partnerships with local partners, local institutions, local companies that help you out. They can guide you. They can let you know which ways you have to go. And I think it's really important for us to work together with the local institutions, with Liga Indonesia Baru, with PSSI, because they have the know-how. They have been doing this for the last 50, 100 years. And I think working together can be really positive for both, for us and for them, because we can get to know more about Indonesia thanks to them, and they can get to know more about European and Spanish football thanks to us. So if we put all the knowledge together, we might be able to create some specific projects that can be really interesting and can have a great impact within the Indonesian football. And that's my objective, work with them so we can create some specific projects with our know-how, with their know-how, that can really affect in a positive way to the Indonesian football development.
Oke. Rodrigo bilang alasan kenapa La Liga mau bekerja sama untuk mengembangkan, untuk membina pemain muda, bakat muda di Indonesia itu alasannya karena sekali lagi objektifnya La Liga itu adalah menjadi turnamen sepak bola terfavorit kedua di negara manapun dia berada gitu, termasuk di Indonesia. Jadi yang pertama pasti fans sepak bola itu harus ngefans sama sepak bolanya sendiri seperti itu. Nah yang kedua ya La Liganya, seperti itu objektifnya. Nah cara untuk mencapai tujuan itu ya dia La Liganya mau bekerja sama dengan PSSI ataupun Liga Indonesia Baru untuk berbagai proyek lah, salah satunya yang membina bakat muda ini karena menurut dia ya itu penting keuntungannya itu bersama. Jadi dari La Liganya bisa lebih tahu tentang sepak bola Indonesia itu seperti apa, tentang kultur fans Indonesia itu seperti apa. Nah, dari PSSI-nya atau Liga Indonesia Barat atau sepak bola Indonesia yang sendiri bisa lebih paham bagaimana sepak bola Eropa itu, terutama sepak bola Spanyol itu seperti apa. Jadi ada semacam ya keuntungan bersama lah gitu. Seperti itu. So, is there any question? Okay, this is interesting question actually from Axel Kevin 05. So how about women's football? Is there any project with PSSI to develop women's football in Indonesia?
Well, I think women's football is nowadays one of the greatest projects that the sport industry can be in, right? I think we have a great experience now in Spain. We have the first division league in Spain, Primera Iberdrola, which I think it's really interesting. It's getting more and more competitive. Clubs are getting even more professional. The players, we have been able to bring some international players. The local talent is being developed in a really good way. And in that way, one of my priorities during the last year has been to create some specific projects in order to develop women's football in Indonesia. And I think we are near we are working with several counterparts. We are working with several partners in Indonesia, local partners, which are really keen to invest time and money in the women's football development. And of course, it's not going to be some, instant like the noodles. It's
Yeah.
going to be a mid long-term project. But I really think that it has a lot of potential. And I really deeply think that when Indonesian people will be able to see women's football as another great sport, it can grow. Now with the first division league that you have been creating with the Persija Jakarta women's football team, Persikabo. I think it's been interesting so far. If you go to our Twitter account, we have created a Hari Kartini Day. It was last week, the Hari Kartini. So we have been in contact with local Spanish professional players and with some of the local Indonesian professional players in order to, enhance somehow the women's players in Indonesia to keep doing that, to keep playing football and to keep improving. Because I think for the next 1 or 2 years, with and without La Liga, it will be a complete success, the women's football environment in Indonesia.
Oke, tadi pertanyaannya lagi soal apakah ada La Liga itu akan terlibat dalam membantu sepak bola wanita di Indonesia. Adakah proyek seperti itu? Nah, La Liga tadi Rodrigo menjelaskan bahwa La Liga pribadi memang ada kan kompetisi profesionalnya di Spanyol, First Division-nya bahkan untuk sepak bola wanita di sana, dan memang ada rencana seperti itu sedang dijalankan untuk ada untuk pengembangan sepak bola wanitanya sendiri gitu, tapi perlahan-lahan dia bilang itu tidak bisa secara instan. Dia mulai perlahan-lahan seperti kayak kemarin ada Hari Kartini itu, ada pemain-pemain La Liga perempuan yang mengucapkan selamat Hari Kartini seperti itu di medsos. Dan nanti ada beberapa proyek yang mungkin kedepannya baru kita bisa lihat, karena sekali lagi Rodrigo jelaskan itu tidak bisa instan untuk sepak bola wanitanya, tapi dia menekankan seperti ini, jika fans Indonesia sendiri tertarik untuk menyaksikan sepak bola wanita, ya mungkin kelak ini akan semakin membantu perkembangan sepak bola wanitanya sendiri. Itu sih tadi yang dia tekankan. Okay, maybe we take last question, I think.
Okay.
So, in La Liga, who's your favorite team?
I have to support the 20 teams of La Liga.
Oh.
No, I cannot choose. But if you ask me, I am from a small town near Madrid called Soria. So I support Numancia. It's a second division club here in Spain. Yes.
Okay.
It's a second division club, not really famous, but we will go back to first division soon, and you will get to know more about them. And I want to mention that Faldo High has been 1 or 2 weeks training in Soria, in Numancia, and that we have now 3 Indonesian players with 16 and 17 years old playing here in the grassroots Numancia development project that they have here in Soria.
Oh, really? Interesting. Jadi Rodrigo bilang dia tuh harus dukung semua klub lah di La Liga, tapi dia sebenarnya punya favorit dia, yaitu karena dia dari kota kecil di dekat Madrid itu dia ngefans sama Numancia. Saat ini sih di second divisionnya di La Liga, di segunda divisionnya La Liga. Nah, Numancia ini ternyata tuh tempatnya Osvaldo Hai dulu pernah sempat latihan 1-2 minggu begitu. Dan saat ini juga ada beberapa orang Indonesia yang memang di sekolah akademinya Numancia ternyata di sana. Wah, menarik juga ya. Oke, kita sudah we almost 15 minutes actually. So thank you for your time, Rodrigo. Hopefully
thank you.
We will hear more about you and of course La Liga. Stay healthy.
Please follow our social media, and of course in I think in 1 month, maybe 40 days, we will go back. Our competition will start again. So please follow La Liga, watch Hasim being sport in Indonesia, and let's go. Let's finish this season, and stay safe, please.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Rodrigo, take care. Bye.
Ciao.
Pesan terakhirnya Rodrigo tadi tolong follow akun medsosnya La Liga. Ada sih itu Twitter Twitter La Liga juga ada. Terus juga katanya saksikan pertandingan-pertandingan La Liganya. Aduh, saya promosi di Sport. Dalam 40 hari lagi, dia bilang dalam 40 hari lagi semoga La Liga bisa kembali lagi kompetisinya musim ini dijalankan. 40 hari berarti tuh. Catat 40 hari. Oke. Terima kasih ya teman-teman Sobat Indosport yang sudah menemani saya selama 50 menit. Aduh, ngobrol lah panjang banget. Semoga ikut lagi lah di next live Instagramnya Indosport. Nextnya tunggu aja postingan Indosport selanjutnya. Terima kasih banyak. Selamat menjelang buka puasa. Selamat menikmati. Selamat mencari takjil-takjilnya. Dah.